wow. I've never heard of curry butter chicken and basmati rice. I only know jasmine rice and sushi rice, but that sounds fucking bussin'. Also, Auza, Zunatic, Pollock Silver Song. Thank you for the gifted chips. Also, I definitely didn't keep you guys waiting here while I was setting up my other waiting room. That'd be silly of me. That'd be so goofy. Whoa, hold up, wait a minute. Whoa, hold up, wait a minute. Whoa, what's going on? What's going on? Stop! Wait, stop! Okay, never mind, continue! Okay. Oh yeah, fuck, shit, you're right, the lineup. I gotta edit that so I can actually, like, say who's there. I'll look like an idiot. How about I get everybody's channel names right? I will not be getting everybody's channel names right, but I'll try. Okay, so hi everybody, welcome in. My name's Crimzon Rulez. I am Elysium's greatest monster hunter, the Midwest fantasy VTuber, and your least favorite idol. It starts with a C and ends with an E. It's Crimzon Rulez. Hi everybody, what's going on? 3 months, whoopee! Happy to be a disciple of the chaotic abomination such as yourself. Keep going, gamer. I will keep on pushing it, Tegan. Thank you for 3 months and welcome back. Hi everybody. Believe it or not, I blinked this time. For real, for real, for real, for real. Click, clack, Ruze. Please tell me someone gets the reference. I get the reference, JD Anarchy. I hear it in my dreams sometimes, in my nightmares. I'm the devilishly handsome monster hunter. Ciao demo! It starts with a C and ends with an E. Hey, bubbies. It's Crimzon Rulez. You better believe it. So, how's everybody doing today? It's been not that long, honestly. It's been a day, but honestly, the grounded stream felt like a fever dream. Which I still, God, I want to find a base spot so bad. I gotta be patient. I have to be patient. But anyway. Lady Luck, if you are listening, may you grace Ruze with all the... You don't need... What? You're beseeching Lady Luck for bad luck? Dude, it's a permanent state of being with me. You don't have to add on. You don't gotta tack it on. Oh, you're wishing me the best luck. Okay, I didn't finish reading. Anyway, thanks for the soup. Thank you. Remorium says, almost 3 years. Wow, 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 wow. Also, there's a Ruzader mod for Dwarf Fortress in the war. Okay, we're not asking perms for that. We're just going to use it and no one's going to say anything, all right? There's no way in hell a single person in the government could possibly stomach watching that game. So I guarantee they don't check those VODs. I'm just going to use it and we're not going to talk about it. Lisa says, hi, Ruru-chan. Who? Oh, you mean Ruru-chan, my Ruri that I keep on my desk at all times. Look, it's my all-time favorite Nah, I changed my mind. You're still my favorite Soon Cutie Pie. Yeah, sounds better. Oh, okay. You're talking about my Rui. Understandable. I agree. He's pretty cute. It's not out yet. Oh, I know. I'm just saying when it does come out. We're not going to talk about it. Milk's up. Think of a whole year. It feels like it's been so much longer than a year, but that's beautiful. That's perfect. Thank you and welcome back. So yeah, this is just a little quick morning latte before I go ahead and do Mario Kart, because Mario Kart is really easy for me and I'm the best player that ever lived. So I'm just kind of prepping myself mentally to, you know, be back on top of the podium, to be the champion everybody knows I am, and to, you know, hear the lamentations of those who are behind me on the track crying that I'm better than them all the time, and just kind of rub their noses in it as, you know, I'm what you call a humble loser and, a gracious loser and a douchebag winner. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, sorry, a sore winner. A sore winner. A gracious loser. It's a burden to bear being the best. It's a burden to bear being the best. But it's a burden I gladly take. You know, it's the mantle I must wear because only my shoulders are broad enough. Only I am. Jeez, what? Holy shit. The council coming out strong. I love that you used a little cockroach picture. First of all, wow, thank you for the big Crimzon Rulez. I want Big O at the casino. I bought a shit ton of Pokemon cards and a little something for you and the kitties. I'm never going back to the casino ever again. I can see why it's addicting. I've never been to a casino. I will never be to a casino. Congratulations on your big win, though. Remember me when you're rich and famous or whatever, now that you got like 50 fucking mansions and 12 cars or whatever, and like a yacht. Remember me when you buy a bunch of treats for the kitties and and Pokemon cards. I hope you pulled something cute. Not necessarily. I'm always skeptical when someone says they collect Pokemon cards. So I'm like, are you a scalper or are you playing the game, bro? But I know you guys is good people. I know you're just trying to pull cards you like, Pokemon you love, and I hope you got some. I hope you got some cool ones, and I hope you love them. Thank you for the delicious Crimzon. Congrats on your win. I will never go to a casino, A, because I will lose all of my money, but my main fear is that Lady Luck will let me win big first, and then something will overwrite my brain chemistry, and I will become immediately addicted and go incredibly broke. Like, I'll win, like, I don't know, like $4 grand or something, and I'll be like, oh, fuck, well, let's put it all on red. But realistically, I'd probably just lose 4 times and then be like, ah, fuck it, and leave. Mitch says, whoa, another month. May you definitely sail through the first place later and not get knocked all the way to last. Well, it's going to be easy for me because I'm the best. I mean, I guess I could, like, I think what I'm planning on is I'm going to go ahead and give myself a little racing handicap. I'm going to play with a little motion controller, like those little, like, fake wheels or whatever that come with the Switch 2. I'm going to play with those just so that they have a chance to beat me. Aurora says, I started playing Dwarf Fortress for the first time a few days ago. I have limited experience with Colony Sims, and I'm still learning how to streamline it. Dwarf Fortress is a pretty brutal one to start with, but I hope you enjoy it. I find it is an incredibly engaging game. It's one of those games that is so easy to be like, I'll just play for a little bit, and then you look at the clock, and it's like 8 a.m., and you're like, uh-oh, my bad. Uh-oh. Anyway, thank you for 28 months. Hey, I came from Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is great. It's just, it's a dense learning curve for Colony Sims. If you want an easy, not easy, but if you want a slightly more approachable Colony Sim, I would say maybe do something like Manor Lords or RimWorld has its approachability that, I mean, RimWorld's kind of akin to Dwarf Fortress. So is Songs of Six, because Songs of Six goes from like Colony Sim into 4X. Well, Songs of Six starts off pretty simple, so maybe Songs of Six, Manor Lords, those kinds of games seem pretty good. I want to get into, I've never played Against the Storm, but I want to play that at some point. But that's more of a city builder, I think, than a Colony Sim, but I still want to. Spaced Out Pup! 31 months! Hi! Wahoo! Esper says, hey, Ruze, working on a cosplayer current outfit. Why do you wear skulls on your knees? Also, making your armor is pretty cool. Well, the idea when I commissioned these like boots and knee guards from the local smith was that I didn't want to wear heavy metal on me at all times. Turns out bones are pretty heavy, but I figured Corruption Beast skulls would make both intimidating adornment and also good knee guards. However, in retrospect, it doesn't really match the silver metal of my, like, the rest of my armor, but I couldn't afford to, like, constantly be commissioning, like, a bunch of, you know, that beautiful, beautiful, like, scroll work metal all over my body. Hence why I only have the gauntlets and the shoulders, because that's what I need to protect. So it's a cheap, quick solution is why, and it's pretty fucking durable against most things. That being said, I would recommend not wearing skulls on your knees. It makes it harder to get around, and if you trip forward, you could impale yourself. Be careful. Anyway, thank you for the soup. Hey, Night Breeze. Thanks for 19 months. Says, I have to limit my gachas because I like shiny fake boxes too much. Mario Kart's going to be a blast, though. Mario Kart is going to be a blast. I don't play gacha games. I don't play gacha games because I have perhaps a bit too much of a combative streak, and I feel like whenever I roll in a gacha game, the devs are getting one over on me, and I get mad. I get mad as if they have personally, like, insulted me. I'm like, fuck you, fuck off. I'm not rolling on your dumb gacha, because if I don't win, then I've wasted my money and you're chuckling and rubbing your hands together like a fucking fly. Fuck you. I don't play gachas specifically because the only way to win in gachas, in my mind, is to stick it to the devs by not playing gachas. Do you like simulator games? Yes, sometimes. My other problem, okay, so here's the thing. I don't inherently hate gacha. I mean, I've grown to hate it over time because of the predatory practices in gacha game markets. I've grown to dislike gacha a lot. I'm looking at you, Legendary League of Legends skins, and yeah, I'll fucking say it, I don't care. However, I think my main problem with gacha games is usually, and this is not true of all gacha games before everybody pipes up, because somebody's going to be like, oh, actually not this one, or not my special interest, but usually gacha games fucking suck, dude. They just fucking suck. Like, the gameplay's dog, and the only serotonin you get is rolling on those boxes. Damn, that's brutal, Yofi. I can't breathe. My downstairs neighbor's smoking weed again, and the smell got in before I could close my windows. Good morning, Rosaders. You gotta have a candle around for moments like that. You gotta have a candle around for moments like that, and also you gotta get back at them. Hang some garlic to dry outside your window. Make sure it hangs in front of their window. But Ruze, your company just released a gacha game. Is it fucking dog? I wouldn't know. I'm not playing that shit. I mean, good for them. Sounds cool for people who like gacha. Wow, listen, don't ruse me. I'll say what I want. I don't play gacha games. Now, when the company releases a fucking colony sim or an action RPG or a fucking dark fantasy, like, role-playing game, fucking sign me up. Valid. Do I play rhythm games? I suck at rhythm games. I don't hate them. I just don't play them much. Dude, a mascot colony sim would go crazy. Imagine you had a colony sim where we had all the mascots for the HOLOSTARS boys or whatever. And each mascot, like, functioned slightly differently. So you could either have like a run where you're like, oh, I'm only playing Rusaders and they're like really good at like crushing up and processing ores and mining and stuff, but they're bad at like farming or something, right? That'd be so cool. But then if you're like, oh, but I'm actually gonna mix my colony, but there's tension between the different like mascots because, like, you know, I don't fucking know. Maybe the sorority doesn't like it when you destroy their jewels, but the Rusaders like to eat jewels. So they like have like social tension. So you have to balance like the social order of your colony while also balancing the unique benefits and like desires and costs of each like mascot. It'd be kind of banger is all I'm saying. This is just songs of 6 Holostars. You're right. It is. You're right. I was hoping, okay, Keys, that nobody had played enough songs of 6 to know what I was doing, but fuck you. You're right, and I hate you for it. Dynasty, I've never played a Dynasty Warriors game. I've always kind of vaguely eyed, like side-eyed Hyrule Warriors, like, ooh, maybe that could finally get me into it, but I just don't think I would like the gameplay that much. Which mascot can farm, though? Well, I imagine Ruzeters could do probably mining. Well, would Ruzeters even be good at mining? I know they like burrowing, but that's different. Listen, I play Vintage Story. I know those are different things. Like, doing, like, earthworks and doing mining are 2 very different jobs. I know the Ruzeters like to burrow tunnels, but does that mean that they can mine? I know they eat gems and they can crush rock with their teeth, but does that mean that they are inherently good miners? Because their tails would imply that they're probably good at cutting down trees and stuff. I feel like the Bubbies could farm. The Bubbies literally have sprouts growing out of their heads. What about Poppets? I think Poppets would probably work as like either menial labor, like just moving things around, as in like, you know, haulers and loaders and stuff like that. Or they might work in an administrative context, as in they're the ones who are handing out like orders and dealing with like making sure things are counted and organized, etc., etc. HOLOSTARS platformer where you rotate between heroes, that'd be sick as fuck. Babylon Goggles. A HOLOSTARS sort of like a Metroidvania where you could rotate between heroes would be banger. But even if you couldn't rotate between heroes, sign me up, brother. Somebody get on that Crimzon Rulez platformer game. Oh, Poppets' textiles would go crazy. You're right. They have enough arms. They'd be insane at doing textile work. You're right. They should work on like cloths and fabrics and such. They're literally sewing themselves back together all the time. Genius. Genius level. Yep. And the sorority could be like bouncers and guards. They think they're the big bonchos who stomp around and yell at people and tell them to get in line, but they're not actually that tough. It's all social pressure because they inflate themselves to look bigger. They puff up like a little ball. But then if it comes down to it, they are not good actual military. They are just, they're the fucking cops. They ate that gum fruit. They yell at you to get back to work. Aw, land blowfish. Kinda, yeah. They're like little land blowfish. That's kind of cute. Merchants? Who would handle merchant class stuff? Well, the Kois would obviously handle aquaculture, so things like farming reeds and like underwater plants, and probably handling like filtering like water channels and stuff like that, and maybe even helping to build bridges and stuff for the land dwelling ones. Let's see, Hakitos, they could probably fly, I guess. I'm sure they would also do okay at handling like livestock and such. I want to say the Maki runes would be mechanists and work on like, you know, primitive tech like windmills and gears and pulley systems. They would also have really low like psyche, so they would be easy to like sanity was like shatter them if you didn't like fucking take care of them. Like it'd be easy for them to go crazy and just be like ah and run amok. I imagine the battalion. Yeah, I wouldn't say, I would say the battalion would make good like merchants and such, probably, right? Or at least entertainers. Maybe they're like speakers and thespians who like handle entertaining people to make sure that like morale stays high. And then I guess for the Colter, Maybe they would be some sort of warriors. Or generalists. It'd be interesting. They are slimes. They could fit like the mold anywhere. Maybe they're just good all around with no big positives and no big downsides. And then obviously the axolotls. Maybe those are the actual military. But I'm kind of conflating the axolotls with, for those of you who don't know, early on, you might have missed this. Those of you who are new here, early on we did a, like, what if the like HOLOSTARS mascots were creatures in D&D or in like a TTRPG? And I think I gave the axolotls like poisonous like spines in their tails and in their like frills or something like that. So they would make good warriors, but only because I'm associating them with being toxic naturally, which is not true canonically, I don't think. Phantom Seraph says, just got my tonsils out. Please don't make me laugh today. Better not watch then. I don't know what to tell you. Congrats on finally, yeah, congrats on third puberty. And thanks for 31 months. Hakito, I don't think listen, the Hakito got glass bones. They're birds. How are you going to have them be the infantry? I guess you could use them as like artillery. Don't they explode? Couldn't you like, oh, dude. Okay, so, all right. So now we've got everybody's jobs, right? We got everybody's jobs. Now imagine, how does everybody function in war? Obviously, the Ruzeters are like ambush predators. You know, they would be falling from trees with their axes down or burrowing underneath and then jumping up and swarming prey. They're tiny, they're aggressive, they can bite through rock. They're ambush predators. Like they're the living traps. The Hakitos are artillery. They're sacrificial artillery. That's your meat wagon. You load them up, you fling them, they blow up. I think the Koltair, again, sort of a generalist infantry, but I think they would play defensively, try to slow down enemies and gum them up with a natural slow ability if they get engaged in melee. I think they would also probably be pretty resistant to like range fire, because what are you gonna do, shoot arrows into a slime? Axolotls would be like tanks in that they just take damage and poison their enemies back or paralyze them with a narcotic venom. Battalion would be wheat and chaff. They're probably pretty fast. They look like they're pretty quick, like little gazelles. They probably run around and just be annoying. And like, if you micro them well, they're probably very good at like stalling. But if you're not good at microing in combat, like RTS style, they just die almost immediately once they get into the fray. I want to say that the Maki runes would be incredibly weak and vulnerable in their raw form. Like, they're easy to dissipate and beat down, but in the late game, they're probably like ultimate tier, right? Like, they're a tier 4 unit if you can get them in their like little red metal suit. They're like a really bad military force early game. Late game, they're powerful. Koi Panions probably don't do a lot of combat. I imagine they might have like light range damage spitting water from the water's edge. So if you can guide an enemy towards water, maybe they're pretty powerful. That, or they're very slow and can get on land, but when on land, they get like a 50% movement speed reduction, but are hard to kill. So it's like if your enemy can pilot around them, they're gonna probably win. But if your enemy's not good at getting around them, they'll never get through the Koi Panion wall. Would be kind of cool, actually. Yeah, I would like that. Let's see, battalion, not battalion, I'm sorry, sorority. Sorority would be AoE morale debuff from yelling at their enemies, and also good at pulling attention to themselves. They're not like the best tanks unless you gear them up well, like you have to have good equipment, but they do naturally have like a threat generator where enemies are more likely to attack them. Obviously we already said the Ruzeters are ambush predators, so like if they get the drop on their opponents, they do big damage, but they're not that hard to kill. So they function like burrowing Zerglings, I would say, in StarCraft 1 and 2. You just need to mass produce Ruzeters and then hide them where your enemies will probably path to, or use a sorority to lure them over to Ruzeters and have the Ruzeters explode out of the ground and start eating them. The Poppets. I I'm not sure about poppets, really. I don't know in a military context. I actually think the poppets would be bad. Like, you want them to be specifically focusing on textiles and, like, administration, and if you put them in combat, you're gonna have a bad time. They're not very warlike, I imagine. And then, I guess the bubbies would probably be pretty good bruisers all around. Like, they're good at, like, wading in and, like, slinging hands, but they're not exceptional. They're kind of, like, really weak to ranged, I imagine. Ranged units? I guess any of them could be ranged. I mean, if you have the Ruzeters pop out of the ground with a bunch of fucking, like, blow darts or fucking, like, arrows and slings, they'd probably be annoying. Or just throwing rocks, that'd probably be annoying. I'm sure the bubbies could work as, like, boulder throwing artillery. Maybe the sorority could do like AoE, like long-range scream damage or something like that. Poppets being medics makes sense, yeah. What if bubbies throw gubbies as weapons? That'd be kind of sick, actually. Bubbies throwing gubbies like Tiny from Dota 2. Just flinging enemies. Ah. Okay, we did it, guys. We made it. We made our colony sim. Obviously, everybody can do everything because the colony sim where you can't do everything is lame, but they just have negatives or benefits to certain things, right? So, like, I imagine Ruzeters with their little claws probably aren't very good at, like, careful manipulation of things that require a lot of fingers. So maybe they would struggle in, like, textiles, things like that. All right, devs, get to work. Let's go. Let's get this game off the ground. Anyway, I just spent like 30 minutes talking about a fucking like HOLOSTARS colony sim / RTS instead of actually talking about Mario Kart. So my bad. Blah, blah, blah. That's very Ruze core of me. My bad. Sorry, guys. I just really like video games. I just like video games a lot. I like my brain's always thinking about different video games. Next time we'll talk about a side scroller action game that plays like Tryin or something. We'll call it Quad. It'll just be an Armis game where you could play 4 players where everybody controls one member of Armis and they all have their own unique like combat things and things they can contribute to like the environment, or one person has to swap between all 4 of them playing solo. Boom. Sounds interesting? Yeah. Yeah. What if the Holo mascots drove cars? Wouldn't last very long. I think cars would have probably stalled out around the 1920s or whatever. I don't think the invention would have gone very far. Mostly because they can't reach the pedals. Shadowcross Zero, thank you for the gifted chip! Yum, 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 yummy. Anyway, I know I said this before, but I'm trying to get into the habit of doing Zatsus before or after collabs because I know that I'm just not going to talk to you guys during a collab because I'm an animal. Also, I totally forgot entirely how to play Mario Kart. I'm on a level with you guys. I don't even know how to set up the wheel, but I'm going to try. I'm going to be real, though. It's been so long since I've played Mario Kart. I don't know shit from butt, bro. I'm just fucking... Wow, I got to stop cursing so much. I hired a dude to work on clips with me or whatever, and he's like, you curse a lot. Which is funny, because I don't even talk to the guy, technically. He talks to my Mane talks to me, because, I don't know, some sort of, like, fucking red tape bullshit or whatever, but my Mane's like, hey, the clipper noted that you curse a lot. I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But anyway, what I was saying is, I don't know shit from butt. 27 months spent on absolute creature. How did this happen? Good luck in Mario Kart. Please kick a bit of ass for me. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to kick all of the ass for you, Ronald Reagan Hater 69. All of the ass. You're going to say, what's 69? I only know 9 backwards 9 because it's butt to butt today. That's how much ass I'm kicking. I'm working on not cursing as much, okay? I'm trying to be sponsor friendly. I don't curse on sponsored streams if it makes you feel better. I've never been a vulgar cursing bastard. Never! Stop! Stop! Please, guys, please. I'm so good at censoring myself. Please. I don't say fuck shit. I don't go down long-winded soliloquies of like weird metaphorical ways in which you could ram a pole up your ass or whatever. I don't do that. Stop. I don't do that. Stop. I have been sponsored twice. It's true. Who are you without your soliloquies? Exactly. I've never said cunt in my life is true. Is that even that bad of one? Why does everybody keep acting like that's like a when I say that? Is it that bad? Listen, if Axel gets the pass, that's not fair. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like it doesn't hit as hard as people seem to suggest it does. It's like bastard. People are like, if you called me a bastard, but bastard got so normalized over time. Ah. Yeah, Axel doesn't even walk in heels in Minecraft. Actually, I have, you know what? Fuck Axel. He's actually not allowed to say that anymore. I'm allowed to. Fuck Axel. Until you've walked until you put on the high heels, got on the treadmill, and played immersive Minecraft, where every step you walk in Minecraft, you have to walk on the treadmill, you don't get to. That's a fact. So true. Do I still have those high heels? I do. I just don't know what to do with them. I guess I could just wear them out and just fucking serve. Okay, but having a dedicated button of funny stock sounds as a censor. Well, I've got this, but it's loud and I don't use it very often. I tried on debut to use this more often, but I just don't like the sound. It annoys me a little bit. It's a little too sharp. Heels are so uncomfortable, but you do you, bro. I've got like heeled boots I wear occasionally, but like actually being on kitten heels is just super annoying. It's just hard to walk on them, and I have to like constantly pay attention to like the type of ground that is underneath my foot, and I don't want to like slide into like gravel or sand, and I don't want to get the bottom dirty, and putting all that pressure in one point on the back of my foot feels like it's like all of my weight is balancing on a single stick. I just don't like it. Chunky heels aren't so bad, yeah. Try using dolphin noises for a sensor? Okay, I got you. Those god... I can't do a dolphin noise. No, hold on. What the fuck does a dolphin sound like? No, that's a squirrel. Hold on. No, that's a, I'm getting further. I'm going toward goat. I'm going goat! He's a phantom. Ruze phantom. I'm going out. They click and whistle? No, hold on. No, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. That was dead on? Yes! I'm a genius. How the hell did you do that? You suck in air instead of letting air out. It's kind of like when you do the fiddlesticks voice, right? When you're like, fiddlesticks, run, you're sucked in. I hate you. Now I got to draw you as Danny Phantom. Please do. Make sure I look cool as fuck. I got to be a Tumblr sexy Danny Phantom. Why not just use Ruzader noises? Well, the Ruzader noises are more like a... Fiddlesticks, first of turn in the burn. We're going back to the Tumblr polls, baby! Hell yeah, dude. Ruzader sound like if nerds were bugs. You're right, Krautzer. You're 100% right. Huh. I don't know what that picture is Flayon just sent, but it's certainly a picture. I'm trying to figure it out, but I can't. It's some anime girl with pigtails. She's laughing at you, I think. She's pointing at the viewer and she's laughing. Ayo, lazy egg! Thank you for 30 months of being an asshole! Greetings, Ruze and Ruzados. I survived 2 grad classes this summer, and boy, am I of the opinion now to not do 2 grad classes in the summer. Anyway, yay, 30 months! Listen, you survived it. Why not do 3 next time? What color of the hair? Her hair was black, but now he's sending pictures of a different girl with pigtails, but she has animal. Oh, wait, horsey. Oh, it's an umamamasume. But this one's hair is like a reddish brown, sort of like a really warm brown. And she's got a circlet with anime bangs or like Vince or whatever, and the hair spike. I always get these words mixed up, so I'm not gonna say it. It's I'm not gonna say it. She's got the hair spike. Oh, Daiwa, a Hoge. Okay, a Hoge. Yeah, the antenna. I have in the past said a Hagao, and people are like, that's not the word. I'm like, oh. That's the anime sweaters of all the fucking people going blah with their tongues out. Yeah. A cowlick? Let's go. 28 months is still my absolute least favorite. We love stability in these times of times. I'm your favorite. Wipes a single two. Thank you for 28 months. And welcome back. Yeah, someone in Japan tried to sell me a sweater of a Hoge, not a Hoge's, whatever, it doesn't matter, of the fucking face, the 3.0 face, I guess, that everybody's been making. Yeah, some lady in a shop tried to sell me that. What a time to be alive. I've already told that story, though. What do you mean interesting? Have you guys not heard that one? Huh. I've actually had 2 situations like that before. One was in Japan, and the lady tried to sell me a sweater. I was like wandering those, like, you know, like, I don't know if you've ever been to Japan, but if you've been to like Zenokuni, you know that there's like these alleys where you can like walk in and out of like shops, and it's kind of like there's this big alleyway, and then if you go left, there's shops, if you go right, there's shops, and then it's like all really, really, really tight packed. And I was wandering around, and I was looking at shirts or whatever, and I was with a friend group at the time. Well, I say a friend group, but I don't know, I don't have friends. I'm in an acquaintance group, a group of acquaintances who I dislike because I hate them. But anyway, I was walking around with a group of acquaintances, and they went ahead of me, and I hadn't realized it. And I was wandering around looking at shirts or whatever, and I walked into one shop, and it was just all naked anime girls, just a ton of naked anime girls. So I was getting ready to beeline it out of there, but then the shop lady's like, "Oh, do you here's some cool sweaters or whatever." And I was like, I'm okay, thank you though." She spoke really good English, by the way. But then after all my friends had left and they finished perusing, she's like, "Okay, so are you staying here with me?" And I was like, "Huh?" She's like, "Are you staying the night with me?" I was like, "Oh, what?" She's like, "Do you want to stay here?" I'm like, "No, bye." See you later, which was great. Very awkward. So I left very quickly. I was like, "Thank you, but no, I gotta go." But then the other time, I was actually looking at retro games in a mall. And it was, I assume, some like touristy, like foreigner shop that was supposed to be targeted towards foreigners, because there was a bunch of like original Pokemon games in a case, and I think there was a Super Nintendo in a case, and there's old paraphernalia, and there was just a bunch of different nerd content. But then on a rack, there was a bunch of sweaters of just full spread, legs open anime girls, and the shopkeeper's like, "Oh, do you like retro stuff?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I was actually looking for like a retro TV or like a small like CRTV, like a box TV I could carry around." And she's like, "Oh, we don't have any of those. This one's just for display." She's like, "But we do have retro things." She's like, "Do you like anime?" I was like, "It's okay." She's like, "Do you like anime like merch?" I was like, "I guess." And she guided me over to the sweater rack, and I was like, "Oh yeah, these are good. This is good art." I'm like, "That's cool. I don't know any of these though, but thanks." And I'm like, do I just have a face that says, "Show me porn, bro"? She was very polite, though. I was like, "Oh, I think she recognized I was clamming up and getting awkward." She's like, "Oh," she's like, "That's okay if that's not your thing." She's like, "We got a bunch of other retro merch like over here and here." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." I beelined it away from that, and I'm sure I was beat red like a fucking idiot. And I tried to hide my shame by focusing very intently on the video game glass immediately. She probably saw me and was like, "Ah, yes, a white man in Japan. He probably wants these sweaters." Thanks. But she was very nice. And so was the other lady. She was nice too, but in a totally different way. That made me leave the shop very quickly. She knows that you goon ethically. Thanks. Kopi! Thank you for 5 months. Welcome back. I see what you're trying to do there. Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah. So nice trying to take you home. Well, I mean, it's a compliment, I guess. That's nice in its own way. It's just not what I'm looking for. Yeah, yeah. True, Tofu Buddy Cat. So true. Thanks for 10 months. I need to have some of my stamina potion before this. Oh, well, princess. Oh, hi. Sorry. 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 I'm sorry. My bad. No, she didn't. Side note, before anybody walks away from the story, the lady who was trying to take me home did not harass me. She was very polite. She was a little wry, and I think she knew she was getting under my skin. It was definitely very much like a, she seemed smug about it. I think she knew she was just like poking at me. I don't think she was being a freak, and she wasn't mean. She at best shot her shot and left me alone when I left. She was very nice. Yeah. She was just trying to sell things. Exactly. I'm sure she was just like, I'm sure I could just sell something to this guy. You throw a little flirtation in there. That's common shopkeeper tactics, brother. Yeah. The potion seller does that to me all the time. Damn, your potion seller does that? Fuck, your potion seller's got Ruze? Let's go. Let's go. I like to imagine your potion seller is like an aging old man with like a cane who's like completely like doubled over on it like a shrimp, and he's got like maybe a few strands of hair, and he's like, hey, you want to buy my potions, hot stuff? That'd be sick as hell. Wood. Cool. Cool. Khajiit's anime if you have coin. Care to browse my sweaters? They come from the Isles of the Dunmer. Dunmer Hagar sweaters, only 12 gold coins. Khajiit wears. Stupid. You got a lot of mom pick me up, I'm scared stories. I think Maka Makahia, I give off an air of being maybe a little bit more confident than I am. And so when I get myself into a situation with confidence, I immediately need to like switch into demure mode and back the fuck out. But also thanks for the sub. Oh my God, the Are You Anime Crazed one. That was a crazy one. Anyway, it is 7 o'clock, so I guess I better get into this collab. I've got that I've got that kind of Riz that pulls people in, and then they open the box and see that I'm a sopping wet cat, and are like, aw, I better leave this thing alone. I turn on the most sopping wet cat energy I can as soon as somebody assumes that I got Riz. I'm like, and then they're like, so, you interested? And I'm like, no, bye. See you later. Chibi Kuroneka, thank you for 31 months. Rui finally arrived after getting stuck in shipping jail. Dude, I've got a package going back and forth from Japan to me like 4 times now. It's driving me insane. Anyway, yeah, put him on a string and dangle him in front of cats. The strategic, pathetic, wet cat switch. Oh, trust me, I can turn it on. I can turn it on in a second. How do I look as? Oh boy, this bad boy slaps the top of your Ruze's head. Just bop. This bad boy can go from 0 to pathetic so fast. Leave him alone. Oh, they're already in the call. I better hurry up. All right, gamers. I guess I'm going to raid into my own waiting room, and I'll see you there. So that's how I'm going to do this. Let's see. No ending screen today. No question, because I simply cannot be asked, and I don't have the time. Anyway, good yap. Thanks for chatting for a bit. I hope you guys are looking forward to Mario Kart. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be pretty high energy probably. So if you're here for anything other than a raucous amount of noise, this is your warning. It's probably gonna be pretty loud. I will see you on the other side. Bye. Bye. I'm going to my starting soon screen actually, because I'm gonna be starting soon on the next one. Okay, bye.